Hey, Linda. How are you?
Hey, Mom. Yeah, doing okay. What's up?
Must have been at least 1 month since we last talked.
Seriously? Has it been that long? Sorry I haven't been able to contact you. I've been pretty busy. Busier than I thought, actually. And the time difference can get a bit confusing.
Yeah, well, I've been pretty busy too. Your father will finish up his business assignment here in Australia in about a month, and we'll finally be home again. I have all this stuff in the house accumulated after living here for the past 5 years. Cleaning that up is really taking up time.
Better than having nothing to do, I suppose.
So, what are you up to today? You have anything planned?
Dan's parents are stopping by today, so I have to get the room cleaned up and do a little shopping for dinner tonight.
Seriously? Are they coming over again? Didn't they just visit last week?
Did I mention that to you?
Oh no. I have a friend that lives nearby, and she mentioned that she saw them visiting. I know. Seems kind of nosy.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, Linda. I really don't want to criticize Dan's folks, but don't you think they visit a little too often? Doesn't seem normal.
You think? Doesn't really bother me.
Are you okay? I mean, you're not being pressured or anything.
No, nothing like that. It's just that they want to see their grandkids soon. So they tend to be a little overindulgent.
I see. Are you sure you're okay? You're not tired, are you? You always say they are very nice, but I hear they tend to be strict sometimes.
Don't worry about me, Mom. I'm fine. Besides, Dan's here to protect me. He's a sweetie. His parents are strict at times, but I think it's only because they're concerned about my well-being. That's all. I actually should be grateful to them.
If you say so, Linda. But just keep this in mind. I'm always here to help you. Don't forget that. Call me anytime you want.
Like I said, Mom, I'm fine. Don't worry. I better get going. I'm pretty busy today. I'll contact you later on. See ya, Mom.
All right. Just don't overexert yourself.
Dan, are you there? Answer me.
What do you want, Linda? I'm busy.
Where the hell are you?
I'm at the airport. Where do you think?
Does that mean that note you left on the kitchen table? Is that true? Are you really going off to Hawaii with your folks?
Yeah, that's why I left the note. Are you daft?
Are you really going to Hawaii?
What do you think? Take care of the place while we're gone, would you?
Is it just the 3 of you?
Yeah, me, Mom, and Dad, the whole family. Who else did you have in mind?
I thought I was a member of the family, to be honest.
You? No way. You have to stay home. We need someone to provide for us, right?
What are you saying, Dan? Aren't we family? We're married, aren't we?
Yeah, we're married, but not related by blood, so I wouldn't put you in the same category as family. Mom and Dad say they feel the same way. By democratic standards, that means it's 3-1 vote. In favor of you not being a member of the family.
How could you even say that, Dan? You act like I'm just some item.
I really don't have time for this, Linda. They just announced that they are boarding. Better get on. Hawaii, here we come! See you when we see you. As for you, just work and bring home the bread and butter.
Dan, wait. Don't go.
Hey, Linda, you there? I was just looking through Dan's Insta page. Are you guys on holiday in Hawaii or something?
You saw that?
Yeah, some pictures of him and his parents at the airport announcing that they're on their way to Hawaii on holiday.
Yeah, right. I wasn't invited though. I have to stay home and take care of the house. Oh well. Besides, I don't have time. I have to bring home the bacon, so to speak.
Excuse me? Did I just hear you right, Linda? Are you seriously saying that only Dan and his parents went to Hawaii? How could Dan leave his wife at home and go off on a Hawaiian holiday? That makes no sense. Dan's a regular office worker, not some hotshot businessman, right? I mean, he can go on a Hawaiian vacation, so he must not be doing so bad.
Yeah, well, you know. What can I say? It's a wife's job to make her husband happy, right?
Linda, I never complained about who you wanted to marry. As long as you were happy, I was fine with it. I believe in you. But if you think that maybe you made a mistake, that you're maybe not as happy as you thought, it may be a good idea to change directions before it's too late. Or even seek the advice of your parents. There is nothing shameful in that. Just so you know, there is one thing I'm certain of. I didn't send you off to get married so that you would be unhappy.
Mom, I wanted to.
I know. Just let it out. Talk to me, Linda.
He's not working at all.
Pardon me?
Dan, he's unemployed at the moment. He quit his job 3 months ago. He takes on various part-time stuff every now and then, but he uses that money for his own pleasure.
Wait, Linda, back it up a bit, would you? You're saying after he quit his job, he hasn't given you a dime?
Yes, that's right. His parents are on Social Security, and the amount they receive just does not cover everything, so he said we shouldn't rely on them for any support. That's why I have to work. I have to support Dan and his parents.
And who's paying for the Hawaii vacation? Dan's out of a job. Shouldn't he be working on trying to find a new job and not be vacationing? He's got his priorities all mixed up if you ask me. As a matter of fact, he should be cutting back on spending.
The money for that vacation? He used the money I made this month without my permission.
Are you telling me that Dan and his parents are on vacation in Hawaii using your hard-earned money?
Yeah, that's right. I was going to use that money to pay off some debts, but he dug through my belongings and found this month's pay. I had just returned from the bank. He took every penny. I need money to eat, so I took on another part-time job. They pay on the spot, so...
You do realize that this is just simply nonsensical.
Yeah, I guess.
Can I ask you something, Linda? I know you had a substantial amount saved up while you were single. You haven't used any of that, have you?
Yeah, I was going to tell you about that. Dan got a hold of my cash card and somehow figured out the password. He used my savings to buy his parents expensive gifts and took them to fancy restaurants. He also bought his mistress an expensive brand handbag.
Did you just say his mistress?
Yes, I'm pretty sure he took her to his trip to Hawaii.
And Dan's parents know this and welcome this immoral relationship? Is that what you're saying? When are Dan and his entourage getting back from this so-called vacation?
Let's see. 5 days. So, next Saturday.
Next Saturday? Huh. Okay. Linda, I want you to come home right now.
Huh? Home? You mean home?
Your father and I will be back the day after tomorrow. We'll both be at the house. Go pack your things and be ready to escape at any time. Got that?
Mom, really? You'll do that for me?
Of course, my dear. I'm always on your side, Linda. What are mothers for? I will do anything to help you. Don't forget that. Don't you dare keep this all to yourself. We're here to protect you.
I don't know what to say, Mom. I can't thank you and Dad enough. I should have told you sooner. I'm going to do this. I'm going back home.
Hey, Linda, where the hell are you? We just landed at the airport. Come pick us up ASAP. Hello, Linda. Pick the damn phone up, would ya? Always vanishes right when you need me. Sheesh. What use is she? All you got going for you is to clean the house and cook for us. Oh yeah, and financial support. Can't forget that. Pick up the damn phone and get your ass moving, for God's sakes.
Hello, Dan. How are you? This is Linda's mom. It's been quite some time since we last talked, hasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Hello? Sure has been a long time. Great to hear from you. Unusual to get a line message from you. What's up?
You just sent Linda a message, so I'm replying on her behalf.
Excuse me?
Maybe what I'm about to say will explain the situation you're in.
Have you returned stateside from your husband's assignment in Australia?
Yes, that's right. It was a long 5-year assignment, but we're finally back. Just arrived back home a few days ago.
Seriously? I thought you guys were going to get a permanent resident and just live over there.
Excuse me? Who told you that? We always planned on coming back.
I had no idea. You never returned during those 5 years, so I figured you like it there.
Well, you're partially right. The company insists that you cannot return for the first 2 years. I was looking forward to coming back the 3rd year, but... Then the pandemic happened and we couldn't go back and forth as we expected. If that didn't happen, we would have returned at least twice a year. So, it's been 5 years of never getting the chance to return, but I'm elated to be back.
I had no clue. So, you were actually adamant about returning, huh?
Never thought I'd find out, huh? Is that why you've been treating my daughter like some personal ATM machine in your family maid? I suppose Linda does make a lot more than women her own age, especially you. You figured she didn't have any close relatives. You thought we would never return from Australia. So you proposed to her and got married. That's when you started mistreating her, using her as a maid and making her work and stealing her earnings. You even stole her savings. Money she had saved all through school and before marrying you. And to think that your parents were in on it. They had full knowledge of your scheme and supported you wholeheartedly. Shall I go on?
How do you even know all this?
We have our ways.
You didn't seem like caring parents to me. I mean, you met me and my folks online. Remember that? What kind of parents do that?
As I said, the global circumstances were such that we were not able to meet in person. I'm sure you understand. You said so at the time. Don't you remember?
Huh? Yeah, but...
Also about the wedding. We said we'd hold off on that until we returned and the date has not yet been set. Wasn't that what we agreed on?
Huh? Right. Wait.
I didn't realize you were so forgetful, Dan. Maybe we should have waited for the whole marriage itself, at least until we had returned. Maybe we should have met face to face beforehand.
Yeah, but...
My daughter will file for divorce. She no longer wants to be your maid. I mean, wife.
Oh, wait a second. You can't do that. Hey, I'll make things right from now on, I assure you. I'll even start looking for a new job. So, please, no talk of divorce. Please? The timing is just not right. I have to make a living, you know?
There are other reasons why my daughter wants nothing more to do with you.
What are you talking about?
Paula Connors, 23 years of age, no gainful employment.
Pardon me?
Your mistress. You went to some bar and picked her up, had relations with her for about 6 months.
Where'd you get that information?
Wow, 6 months ago. That was right about the time we submitted the marriage certificate downtown.
What is this?
I guess it was about the time you arrived in Hawaii. I got a message online from your little sweetheart Paula. She said she had dibs on my husband, and that she had just arrived in Hawaii with you and your parents. Nice of her to let me know.
Why the hell did she...
That wasn't all. She kept sending little messages describing her escapades with you all week and even explicit photos. As a matter of fact, she was sending me 3 or 4 photos a day of the two of you lounging around the beach. There was even one of you guys in bed. I obviously didn't reply, but that sort of pissed her off for some reason. And the photos only increased, and some started to get downright raunchy.
No wonder she was going nuts with all those photo shoots. That idiot!
I would appreciate it if you would thank Paula for me. Thank her for the boatload of photos and messages. More than enough evidence for my needs. My lawyer said it was more than enough to institute legal proceedings and claim damages from both of you.
Come on, Linda. Let's talk about this.
I want the divorce, and you're going to give it to me.
But you know I'm unemployed.
That has nothing to do with me. Figure it out yourself. Goodbye, you good-for-nothing creep.
After thoroughly going through all the line data, our lawyer initiated legal proceedings against both Dan and Paula. There was ample and irrefutable evidence to prove Linda's case. This Paula apparently thought that Dan was some rich guy and he would cover for her, but when she learned he was unemployed and there wasn't a penny to his name, she turned deathly pale. Obviously, her parents were not able to pay and she ended up borrowing the money and paid it in full. I heard she ended up working as a hostess somewhere. As for Dan, he was ordered to pay all the money he used, including all of her savings. Without a job and his folks on Social Security, the only thing left for Dan and his parents to do was to sell their house and property. And if that wasn't enough, borrow from whoever would offer a loan. Last I heard, the 3 of them were living in a beat-up 1-bedroom apartment down on Market Street. I'm sure they are kicking themselves every night for messing this all up.
Hi, Brendan. Are you on the train right now?
Oh, hi, Linda. Yep, I'm on the train right now. I'll probably be there on time. I'm looking forward to today.
Yep, me too.
Still, though, I'm pretty nervous. I've met your mother a few times before when I visited your house, but it's my first time meeting your dad.
I've told him multiple times before to meet you, but he always makes up some sort of excuse and disappears whenever you come visit.
So, does he think of me as some random guy that stole his daughter?
Even if that's the case right now, I'm sure he's going to have a better opinion of you once he gets to meet you.
I hope so.
Anyways, this time I told him that you'd be coming to receive their blessing for our marriage. I don't think he'll escape this time.
I'll do my best to receive your parents' blessing.
I'll tell him about how much of a good person you are as well.
Thanks. I wouldn't know what to do without you.
Alright, take care then.
Yep, you take care as well. To think that you were a piece of scum that grew up without a father. What? Could this be Alinda's father? I got your contact information from Alinda's smartphone. Is that so? First off, let's get this straight. I'm not going to be your father-in-law. I'm not going to let you and my daughter even get married. All right, then I'll call you Mr. Reed for now. Mr. Reed, why did you do what you did back there? Because you're a piece of scum that was raised in a single-parent family. I'm sorry, but that's not an answer to my question. Why did you throw that ashtray at me? You didn't just throw it at me. You were even waiting for me to enter the front door, poised to throw it. Luckily, it was only a light ashtray, and I was able to get away with only the swelling on my forehead, which you seem to aim for. Not liking someone is not an excuse to throw stuff at them. You see, that's what I'm talking about. All I did was teach you a little lesson and you start getting all mad. You're a piece of scum that was raised by a single parent. Your reaction proves that what I say is right. If I may, there are people who become single parents against their own will. Even placed in such an environment, there are tons of people who have been raised on a straight path and are regular members of society. Don't you think that calling someone a piece of scum just because they were raised by a single parent is a bit prejudiced? You seem to want to say that you're a good example of someone that was raised on a straight path. It's not like I'm overconfident, but ever since I lost my father to an illness when I was 5, my mother raised me all on her own and even paid for me until university. I respect my mother from the bottom of my heart for that, both as a parent and as a human. There it is, your mother complex. Huh? I can already see my daughter being bullied by your mother, and you not doing anything if she were to marry you. Don't you think your interpretation is a bit one-sided? If the child is a piece of scum, then the mother must surely also be a piece of scum. What? I'm not going to let you marry my daughter. Mr. Reed, is that why you're provoking me on purpose? Do you want me to get mad at your heartless insults and insult you in return? So that I might accidentally say something that will make me and Alinda break up? Well, sorry to say this, but the things you said about single parents and their children at least don't apply to me and my mother. So there's no way I'm going to lose my temper and say something compromising. Huh? I'll end our conversation here for today, but me wanting to marry Alinda still hasn't changed, so I hope we can come to an understanding in the future.
Brendan! Sorry it took me so long to contact you.
Hi, Linda.
You see, my dad took my smartphone from me, and I was only able to get it back now. Mom got it back for me without him knowing. Is the place where the ashtray hit you all right?
Yep, It only got a bit red, and it's basically nothing now.
I'm glad. I'm sorry for my father. I never thought he would do such a thing.
Did you hear why he's opposing our marriage?
Yep, I heard. He explained it to us in grand eloquence. Me and Mom didn't know what to say after his speech.
Is that so?
I'm so sorry. I didn't expect him to be this opposed to us getting married. Even if you were opposed to the wedding, why would he just throw an ashtray at you without even listening to what you had to say?
Linda, let's calm down a bit. If we lose our tempers here, then we'll just be doing what he wants us to do.
You're right. Oh, I forgot. Mom says there's something she wants to tell the two of us.
Oh, Mrs. Reed?
She said she's been thinking about it for a while, but has finally decided it after seeing my dad's attitude today.
I wonder what it is.
She told us to set up a meeting when Dad wouldn't be around.
Got it. Could you tell her that I'm free on weekday nights and on weekends?
Got it, hold on. I just asked Mom, and she said the sooner the better, so come tomorrow after work. Dad works a night shift, so he won't be here.
Understood. I'll contact you once I'm done with work tomorrow.
I'm so sorry about today.
Hey, don't apologize. It's not your fault. Well then, see you tomorrow.
Yep, see you tomorrow.
So you didn't have enough and decided to come again. But I heard that you were going to work a night shift today. The production line was halted because one of our machines broke down. They told us repair would take the whole night, and so I got home early. Is that so? I'm going to marry Linda to another man. Huh? Her husband is going to be the son of an executive director of the company I work at. Me and the executive director have been friends for a long time. And I promised to him that I would give his son my daughter to marry. The son of an executive director? How does it feel? He's a part of the upper class. You're nothing compared to him. You work at a factory owned by a food company at S City, right, Mr. Reed? I'm sure Linda will immediately give up marrying you if I tell her about this opportunity. Don't you dare bother my daughter's happiness, you single-parent raised piece of scum. Is that so? If that's the case, then I'm done. I see. It's a bit rude of me to say this, but I'll praise you for knowing when to quit. Don't get any ideas. I'm definitely going to marry Linda. I just mean that I don't need a father-in-law like you. What did you say? Sorry for bothering you. Linda, are you alright?
Brendan, my dad. I'm so sorry again. To think that he would have come home early.
Apparently something happened at his company, so we couldn't have known. More importantly though, are you alright? I was forcefully kicked out of the house, but I'm worried about you and your mom who were left with him.
I'm fine. Dad kept texting someone or talking to someone on the phone, so he didn't seem to have time for us. The two of us took this opportunity and fled by car. We're at my mom's brother's house right now. By the way, Mom left him the divorce papers, which she already signed.
So her plan is already underway, huh?
She said she was intending on this all along and had been preparing since last night. She wanted to tell you about it, but Dad suddenly came home.
Oh, is that so? Based on what she said up until I was kicked out, I guess the preparation was the obvious choice.
Dad's probably going to try and find out where we went.
Oh, obviously I'm not going to tell him, so don't worry. More importantly, it seems that your father has an arranged marriage set up for you.
Huh? You mean he wants me to marry someone else?
Yep. He says that your husband is going to be the son of an executive director of the company he works at.
The son of an executive director?
Could it be someone you know?
He was a classmate during middle school. Apparently, he's extremely bright and is one of the candidates for the next CEO.
Oh, so that's why your dad wanted you to marry him so much.
But I heard during our middle school reunion recently that he was already engaged.
Huh?
It seems that people at the company don't know yet, though. Apparently, his fiancée is the daughter of the company's CEO.
What?
If we let Dad do as he likes, I feel like a lot of people that have nothing to do with this are going to be caught up in this mess.
You're right.
I have a bad feeling that this is going to be a hassle.
Hey, Linda, could you let me take care of this situation? I feel like we need to finish things right now.
Do you have a plan?
I think that getting my mother to intervene is the quickest way to take care of all of this.
What? Your mother?
To be honest, this is a card that I didn't really want to play, but it seems like I have no choice if I want to stop this before things get out of hand. I want you to wait a bit longer. Hey, Brendan, what's the meaning of this? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Your mother was the largest owner of our company's stocks? I intended to tell you about it when I came to your house to ask you for your blessing, but you never let me in. But instead threw an ashtray right as I stepped into the front door and shoved me out. I was wondering what to do about all of this when you told me about the arranged marriage you had for Alinda with the son of an executive director. To be honest, I couldn't help but be bewildered at your sudden news concerning Brenda's arranged marriage. Me and the executive director were classmates during elementary school and middle school. Not only that, but Alinda and his son were also classmates during middle school. This couldn't have been a better bond. But I heard that the son of this executive director is already engaged. Huh? Who's he engaged to? I got permission from the two of them, so I'll tell you. It seems that his fiancée is the daughter of your company's CEO. Even if there hasn't been any official announcement in the company yet, I think that treating the executive director's son as if he was engaged to Alinda without even asking him in his opinion is a bit problematic. This was around the time when me and Alinda got a bit worried that a bunch of people who were unrelated to our marriage might get caught up in the mess that you were about to cause. Which is why I decided that I needed my mother, the company's largest stockholder, to intervene and have her tell the company about the situation. I had no idea this was happening. That's not the end of it. It seems that you were telling some of your colleagues that my daughter might get married to the son of an executive director. This eventually made its way to the ears of the CEO and of the executive director himself. Apparently, if my mother hadn't told them about the situation, this might have caused a huge commotion in the company. After all, the son of this executive director was already engaged, and to the CEO's daughter nonetheless. You're exaggerating, right? What are you talking about? Depending on how you look at it, one could say that what you did was disrupting the marriage of the next CEO and the daughter of the current CEO. So that's why I was told not to come to work anymore today. I don't know what the company is going to do with you, but It seems that you turned in the divorce papers your wife gave you to the city hall the day she gave them to you. Oh, well, that's... Elinda says that she's going to cut ties with you as well. Hold on, wait! Please make sure not to get the two of them, who are now strangers to you, involved in whatever happens to you. Hold on, wait! This is not what I was intending. The divorce papers as well. I let my anger get a hold of me, which is the only reason I turned them in. I wasn't actually serious. If my wife apologizes, I'm willing to get married with her again. That sounds like a long story, am I right? Well, yes. It's an important one after all. But I'm now just a stranger to you. And I don't need to listen to what you say. Huh? And frankly, talking to you any longer is just a waste of time. So, goodbye. Wait! A few days after this incident, it seems that Mr. Reed was told by his company to relocate somewhere far away. It seems that the people at the company have the silent understanding that that's where people go as a sort of exile. But Mr. Reed knew that he was being saved by the skin of his neck. And so, without a choice, he accepted. The next week, he set off for this remote island. Apparently, he now receives a much lower salary and is barely able to get by living on his own. Speaking of which, as he had never done any household chores in his life, he was having trouble living on his own. And so his diet was now heavily imbalanced. His room is full of garbage he's too lazy to take out. And his clothes are dirty since he didn't wash them. And his personality hasn't seemed to change a bit though. And he has no clue that the days until he's fired are numbered.